I appreciate you taking the time, man. Big fan of the channel.
Cool, cool, awesome. Glad you like it. Who are you in this first game?
I am the Treant.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So like this game, we did the draft and I was just like, damn, like our draft seems super greedy. Like I just need to survive. And I think we did do that, but then we like effed up somewhere in the late game and it just like all fell apart. So I was just wondering, of course we can go over early game, but my biggest problem here is like I didn't know how to play the map, I think,
Okay.
to give my team the best chance to win.
Right. Let's take a
But
look.
we can start from the beginning because even in the lane, like, I don't know. I feel like I could have done better.
There's always stuff we can do better. But yeah, let's take a look. So you are Divine 4, right? You said you wanted to make the push to Immortal?
Yes, sir.
Sick. Try boots first.
Yeah. I watched Sammy Boy do this once and he wrecked. So, I don't know. I'm just like experimenting with it.
Okay.
The Rubik and the Bounty Hunter wreck me though. So, I probably should have gotten like either some armor or some stats when I think about it.
30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely make sure. So Treant's weakness is his like base armor, and his HP pool is not like crazy high, or people just eat through it fast. So you have no armor. Like all their right clicks do a ton of damage to you. So in this situation, like when I play Treant, my main concern is like how much are they going to be hitting me? If they're going to be hitting me a lot, then I'll usually like buy some regen, and it depends on how aggressive I want to be as well. Against like a bounty hunter, I don't think you guys can be that aggressive. Based on their lineup, I don't think you would expect anything differently. So I would be playing a little more passive here, I think. Because, like, right, you understand how bounty hunter works as a hero. He's got like 8 base armor. Yeah.
So I guess like,
let's see how it goes.
I don't know. When I see like this matchup, I was just like, all right, my lane is super trash. Maybe our chances we just like go hard on them and go ham at first. That's why I kind of like go the boots. But you're saying play more defensive, right? And just like I don't know, maybe like living armor, leech seed first instead of some sort of.
No, I'd still take W first. You just have to be careful with your trades. Like what you did here was really good. You just can never fight them 2v1. This is kind of the case for any pause 5, but as soon as the Rubik turns around and starts hitting you, this is no longer like a good trade for you.
Right.
Because the bounty can just turn around. Like you've accomplished a lot here, and then you kind of proceed to throw it away a little bit. I mean, you're gonna take a couple right clicks from Rubik.
I just threw it away a lot here.
But yeah, but then you take like 5 right clicks from Rubik and 2 from the bounty, and then all of a sudden your lane's like over because you don't have a salve. So just pay attention to like the 2v1 potential. Like you guys 2v1 this bounty hunter, great trade for you, and then they 2v1 you because you didn't back off in time, great trade for them.
Okay.
It kind of really is that simple, especially like levels 1 and 2 for the most part. Like if they're both hitting you and you're not both hitting them, like it's gonna be a shit trade. But if you can 1v1 them and you're stronger, which you are, like you owned the Rubik, and then obviously if you can ever 2v1, that's like pretty much always good.
Right.
Okay, going for a side pull, just like good attempts.
Yeah,
This Rubik's gonna stop you. He's got nothing better to do. You bought more tangos. So I'd be looking to pull small here for sure. Okay, looks like you are. That's good. Yeah, that's up a little bit. Yeah, I think your skill build's fine. I don't take living armor early. I don't think it's that good. It's interesting. Okay, I guess that worked out. I thought that was a little weird that you used both your spells. Well, maybe maybe the AM was just like playing it weird.
No, I just missed. I should have angled it down more.
Yeah.
I feel. But
okay, it was a little weird, but then the AM ended up going, and it worked out anyways, because you got a sick body block, I guess. The bounty hunter like didn't run away. Alright, it's fine. I mean, they got a pull off, but you like were pressuring their bounty hunter. That's what they got for the pull. So your aim's pushing your health. Definitely give him a tango here. Yeah, it's not ideal. Otherwise, there's not a lot you can do other than body form a little bit. So yeah, I think this is like okay. Definitely cast your W here, like when they're going on you. Just like the way this ability works is like a great trading ability. If you just like cast your W and your Q on Rubik, right? Because I mean, otherwise they're gonna do a bajillion damage if you can't make them like run away from you. They might even kill you, so you should use your mana anyways. But if you cast your W and your Q on Rubik, and I'd still run away unless you really want to go for the all in. But you die anyways. But you would have healed to like 80 health, and and then he would have been slowed. So just make sure you don't like panic when they like go on you, and maybe it's like maybe you didn't like think you were gonna die here, but this like just comes back to the kind of understanding like your hero's weakness, and like they kind of own you if they're just 2v1ing you. Like the bounty hits for a lot, Rubik hits for a lot. Like his attack animation's good, his base damage is decent. So there's just something to like keep in mind.
Got it.
Keep on a stick.
Yeah, what would you have bought here? Because I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of slow on the uptake. But in terms of money, I had like 400 gold.
You already had boots. I think a stick is fine.
Like I'm saving for mana boots, but maybe there's like a smaller item that makes sense here.
I don't think so. Like at this point, I really don't think so. Yeah, because so like I'm just thinking about what's gonna happen this lane. Like I am thinking like you want some more tangos to give your AM. He's gonna be taking a lot of harass, but there's nothing else you can buy besides like some regen that's gonna like help him out.
Right.
I think like literally nothing, and eventually he's gonna get booted out of lane because his bounty hunter is just gonna Janata him off cooldown, and eventually he's gonna be like, "This is stupid," and leave. And I don't think there's anything you can buy that prevents that from happening. So I think like kind of gearing up to just defend the tower once your AM does leave is what you want to be going for. And definitely be feeding this guy tangos here. Are you giving him one? No, I don't think you are. You should definitely be giving him a tango here. That's like your first priority is like give him some health. Right. And maybe go for the pull yourself instead of trying to contest this pull. Like they're getting these pulls off because they're like sort of winning the trades against you. But you could go for a small camp pull right now, and that would help pull the lane back a little bit.
Got it.
I mean, you're like trying to contest the pull, which is like okay, but then it's like the lane still sucks for AM after you did that, right?
Right.
Okay, you could use the spells. Yeah, you get your spells out, you take a lot less damage. It's very sad. He needs to like fly himself some HP, but if he doesn't, there's like nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah, this guy's a savage. That's all good.
Yeah. I like kind of see what you're going for. Like the Rubik was low, the batting was kind of low. It's like okay. It's just like the lane's just really awkward because it's already like hard.
Yeah.
The only alternative would have been like getting a small pull off at some point, but you know, it is what it is.
I think that was the problem with me this lane. I was too focused on just like fighting and like not just pulling like a normal human being.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
Yeah. Sometimes I just get the blood buffs, man.
I think it's really important to consider whether you want a TP to lane here. I'm not saying this is a bad TP, but I think it kind of like matters a lot making this TP or not. Because there's going to be a rune coming up. Your AM did have it under the tower. I don't know if he needed you right this second. I'm not really sure what's going on bottom, but like these are the moments where Like maybe like you have boots, right? It's not gonna take you forever to get to lane wherever you go, and then having your TP up could be really useful.
Right.
So you just want to consider it here. Like I don't think this is like an auto TP back to lane situation. And I'm not saying that like the correct decision wasn't to TP back to lane. I'm just saying these are like important decisions that you can make like early game. Like you showing up in another lane could possibly like turn
Turn
it.
the tide. Right. Got
Yeah.
it.
Because they're not going to be expecting you. Like if you bought a Windlace and like walked bottom right now, like I don't know. You could like have some impact on this lane and like fuck with the troll a bit while this AM's like got some creeps under tower and like you finally bought himself a south. Like you're not like needed top right this second, right?
Right.
So definitely just like try and pause like in those moments where, you know, analyze if it's like something that you need to like consider. Well, you do need to consider it, but you know, make sure you're like taking that extra time to like think about it. Like, do I need to go back to my lane? Especially because it's not going well.
Yeah.
Lanes that aren't going well, you should be way more thoughtful about like if you can just go somewhere else and have more impact. Like when I have bad lanes, like it happens to everybody. A lot of times I will go to a different lane, and having a TP up so you can go back if they like dive your AM or whatever. Or just because Treant likes to eventually be able to go back to a safe lane tower and defend it is decent. What the
Right. Man, it's whatever, man. Couldn't do anything about that.
No, this is not your fault. What is this guy doing? Oh my goodness.
No, he's pretty low rank. It's whatever.
Yeah, what can you do? I think your skill is fine. Like, going back for living armor I think is okay, because I think you're going to be chilling here for a while.
Nah, they just, I don't know, they just overpower it. Like, my plan was to keep the tower up as long as possible, but...
Right, well that should be your plan. I mean, they don't push the tower that hard. We'll see what happens, but... Okay, going.
Nah, right here I was telling AM not to fight, but I got kind of dragged into it.
Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know if I should just, like, not use my spells here and just back off.
Yeah, I mean, this lane's already kind of over in terms of you guys, your ability to contest them. So
just go.
like, if you're going to be up here, I think all you can do here is, like, go for a pull. They're going to harass the shit out of this AM. Like, you don't help them clear this wave, really. I mean, you can cast a Q on it, but I don't know if it's that helpful.
Right.
His AM's only level 4. So this is, like, already kind of, like, a crap space to be. And that's, like, one of the reasons why I would have, like, strongly considered not coming back here. Because, like, you being here is not really helping at all. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's like what we should be thinking about. Is like, if I go back to my lane, am I really going to be helpful? And we are really not. So what do you do now? So here I am. Okay, so you're TPing top again. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is kind of wild. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess that TP sort of worked out. If you guys were getting like any help from like your Dawn or something, this actually wouldn't be super unreasonable.
I think the reason I TP top is just because I know the catapult's there, and if I don't go there, they're just going to take the tower right away.
Right. Well, it's like, obviously that's bad, but like, do you stop them from taking the tower at this point is the question.
Yeah, true.
And again, it's like, what could you do in other lanes?
I could have asked Dawnbreaker to TP or something.
You can, yeah. You have to decide like what is important and what can you accomplish. Like, I don't know. I'm looking bottom. Like, you're respawning right now. I'm looking bottom, and I'm like, I feel like you could have impact here. Like, you have two pretty full resource heroes. This troll's like half HP. I feel like if you come bottom, maybe you just kick this troll out, right? And then at least his game's not good either. You know?
I guess I get too stuck in the mind of just like I want to play top at all times with my tree because that's what my hero's good at. When
right,
you're a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, be a little bit more flexible. Like, it's important to understand that that's how your hero wants to play, but it's also important to like bail if it's not working at all. Like, I have a video where I'm like a Winter Wyvern who wants to do the same thing, but our lane was shit and I left. Okay. And like eventually I did go back, you know.
Right.
But you know, during this part of the game, I was like, I'm not going to be helpful anymore if I like keep going to that lane. So then I just stopped going to the lane.
All right.
So yeah, definitely be willing to do it, especially if your lane's going bad. Because yeah, you're a little ton of additional top here for sure. And yeah, your troll somehow got a double, or their troll got a double kill bottom. You know, there's no way to know, but I feel like you might have had some good impact if you like shown up bottom at some point instead of continuing to connect top. At least you're walking top now, which I like think is okay. Because then like at least you can leave. Getting these arcanes, I guess.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has
Yeah, this is like
Yeah, I
really
didn't even
awkward. You guys are kind of getting rolled over right now by this bounty.
I mean, I kind of expected it, but it still sucks.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate because you have like a really greedy mid too, and like their invoker's capable of pressuring. I think here the best play is like go with your Dawnbreaker and like try and do something somewhere. Like pressure mid, like anything you can do to like take some pressure off this AM and maybe even your ALK too. Like making them respond to what you're doing is important. Like these like getting the mana boots is nice, but like it's not that important to do right away.
Right.
You guys are in like kind of a desperate situation.
I think that's just laziness too. Like, I could have just flown my courier to my own secret shop and get it eventually.
Yeah, and like if you're, I would be buying more wards here. You guys are like kind of still in the Warriors 3, but like a smoke too. Like if you just have a smoke here, when like that play is over, and you and Dawn like smoke and walk mid, so, like stuff can happen.
Right.
Because like you don't want to both be up here, right?
Yeah.
Because like the goal is not to like continually fight in the AM lane. So this is kind of this is like general position 5, not like Treant specific, but if you can like put pressure anywhere else and not be in your lane, that is often the best way to like make space for your carriers having a hard time.
Yeah.
Which like also goes back to the like TPing bottom, putting pressure on the troll, like maybe like the Rubik like TP's bottom, or maybe even the bounty TP's bottom, right? If you guys like, if you TP bottom and go on this troll, maybe the bounty like TP's and then your aim also is a free lane.
I think my best Treant games are like that, where I am in the other lane, and then once they start pressuring top, I just TP like behind the tower, put on living armor, put out the
right. Then do like normal Treant stuff. Yeah. Very rarely do you like completely crush your lane and then you're like, right? At some point, usually you leave because either you do well in your lane and then your carry like can stay there forever, so then you don't need to be there, or you do like badly and then it's usually better to rotate and you can come back later. You know, maybe sometimes you're doing badly and your carry just leaves because they can jungle.
Yeah, this is where I shall get tracked and just die.
Yeah, bounty is like one of the best ways of preventing you from doing what you want to do, unfortunately.
I should have just stayed in the trees if I want to do this. Dude, watching this replay sucks, but at least I'm getting better from it.
Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. So you like TP to help your AM. I don't think he's a good TP either, just because like he's not really helpable. But yeah, I just think at some point, kind of at any point, like going bottom and like pressuring their tower is going to be better than trying to like defend this tower, just because you're so far ahead, you know? Like it's better to go for a trade than like hope you get really lucky in defending this. Like you don't even have any like points in nature's grasp, right?
Yeah.
But okay, this game is longer than like 20 minutes, right? Yeah, so eventually something happens that's good for you guys, so let's check it out.
Yeah, you can fast forward a little bit.
So you walked at a base top. I guess you were walking towards where this was happening. It's like reasonable. You have a smoke. It's like helping you out a little bit. Okay, you're like participating in
Yeah, I don't really want to smoke, but I guess it's better than nothing. Like looking at our lineup, I'm just like, this is not a team that smokes.
Yeah, well, it's not about like oh, like you guys like could definitely like smoke and like go get a kill. It's just like you're up here with 2 heroes, 3 heroes. Your Dawn's also here. We just don't see her.
So it's just to get out on the map.
Yeah, just to get out on the map. Like this is not how you want the map to be. It's just to get out on the map. You know, maybe you help your Alk, maybe you walk right past the Alk and like come down here and like put some pressure on the troll or the tower or something. Just to like not be here. It's definitely not a like, we definitely need something to happen off this smoke kind of thing. Especially because it's early game, right? I mean, there's like two smokes in stock. You've got one. Like, you guys don't desperately need to like have a bunch of smokes right now. It's like okay to like burn one in that sense. He's stacking?
Yeah, I wish I walked with the Phoenix there, but I didn't know he's got yellow.
Oh, I don't think it's really default.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now we're smoked? I think that was Dawn, right? That wasn't you. That was like a really weird smoke. This one didn't make any sense because your Phoenix is like dead, and like your AM and Alk are just trying to farm here. Like you're kind of already like on the map. Like if you want to do something, you just like walk bottom and like push the lane in, you know, or like walk top and push the lane or something. Well, it's probably better to let your greedy cores do it in this case. But you didn't use that smoke. I'm just saying, like that was like didn't make any sense to me. Yeah, and notice how like nobody's been bottom contesting this troll at all. Like in my head, like I would just kind of continually be bottom soaking XP if like nobody else is gonna be there, and like nothing's happening. And like ideally have a TP up, so if they dive, maybe we can like make a play because we're like playing very defensively. We're not gonna have a lot of space, and like I'm not saying like you, like in a perfect world, like you as the Treant are the one that's bottom. Like I kind of wish your Phoenix or your Dawn was like doing this more. But if nobody is going to be bottom, which is just going to happen in your games, because like people aren't very good at the macro aspect, then like it should just kind of be you. Got it. Because nobody else will do it. Like I do that even in like my games. You know, like 6K MMR. Like I'm not necessarily the hero that should be doing it, but like nobody else in my game's like doing it. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just sit in this lane and like farm it for a while. You know, there's like no point, at least that I've gotten to, where like you eventually can just like stop doing that. Spell usage there, it's good. I don't think I'd be maxing my living armor though. Cause like I'd want to be like kind of having some sort of impact in the lanes. I'd probably be putting more points into Nature's Grasp. Maybe like 2 points in living armor or something to like try and heal up some tier 2s if they like eventually get pressured. But you already lost your tier 1s, and like its ability is like kind of trash. Like I don't know if you like are aware, but it heals like 4 per second, 5 per second, 6 per second. It's like worse than a Tango, even like at max. Or at max, it's about equal to a Tango. In terms of heal, the armor is good, but like usually you don't need the armor that much early game. Like, they do have a lot of physical, but...
I was thinking about just being, like, Captain Save-A-Ho for, like, AM or Alk or whoever gets gone on. That's why I maxed it.
It's just not that good, though. It's just not. Like, in my experience, like, living armor doesn't, like, save people.
Right.
To me. If that's what you're going for, like, I get it. I'm just explaining. My thought is to, like, be bottom and like have points in Nature's Grasp and like be able to shove this lane out, because like even if you were bottom, if you were skilling this way, given what you're doing, I guess what you're skilling is like fine, but like if I was doing what I wanted to be doing, I'd be putting more points in Nature's Grasp, because that's how I would accomplish like pressuring this and pushing this in. Because
So you would stop at 2 and then just go the rest in Nature's Grasp.
Yeah.
Got it.
In this game specifically, that's like what I would be doing. So well, that's cool.
It all seemed like it was turning around here.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so here your Alk's tipping bottom. That's good. I would like literally just walk mid and push it out right now. That's what I would do. Oh, they're like going on your Alk. That's a rip. Okay, you walked past an Alks. You're walking past it again. That's funny. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
There's an Alk.
Someone else.
There's an Alks right here.
Boomer eyes.
Yeah, I feel you. I've done that before. Okay, so your Phoenix walked mid. I guess that's okay. So as soon as this happens, I think I would walk back top to like try and like push it out a little bit. Or bottom, because your Alk died bottom. And now there's nobody bottom again. Like I would just be looking for a lane to like deep push a little bit and create some wave pressure.
I guess I really need to work on just deep pushing.
Yeah, that's just like... It's just kind of always good. Like when you're ahead, then you want it to be pushed in so that they're forced to respond and you have information on where they are and you can like hunt them. And if you're behind, it's good because it might force them to respond and it gets you guys like some farm and some space. And, you know, if nobody else is going to be doing it anyways, right? Like your Alk had TP'd, which is good. And then he like kind of died because his bounty has like an orchid or some shit. So, like, you know, and bounty can hunt you really easily, so you have to be really careful about doing it. This game in particular. But yeah, it's like pretty much all I'm like looking to do for the most part.
Got it.
Like when I'm not when I'm not doing stuff with the team. Like I'm not saying never do stuff with the team. That's like definitely not what I'm saying. Just like my default is chilling and pushing out a wave that like nobody else in my team is pushing out for whatever reason. So getting some wards here. Yeah, and notice how like your whole team walks away from bottom. This is like super low skill shit from like kind of everybody. But like you just want to fight and have some space. Their Invoker's dead. And like there are 4 of you bottom. And I'm not saying you guys have to force this tower, because like if they all show up and defend it with all their heroes, they're probably gonna win that fight. Like I'm not saying you need to force it, but I'm just saying somebody needs to stay down here and continue pushing this lane out and get this farm and keep this wave from being pushed into you guys. And like literally nobody does it. I mean, this Alk pushes out like one wave, but then he like walks away, right? Like these camps are available for you guys. It is what I mean. Like this is like the macro play that you're gonna see in like Divine or even low Immortal. Like people just walk away from lanes, which is just like really sad. So like I would just be down here pushing this out, and I'd be like, why isn't my team doing this? But like that's what I would be doing it.
Right.
100% that's what I'd be doing. Yeah, this is just like you guys have literally just abandoned this part of the map, which is like where you should want to be. Like this is like sort of your guys' area of the map. It's hard with a tier 1, right? But like in theory, these 2 camps, like somebody could farm. Or if you're down here, at least you're like pushing this in. You can even like pull for yourself and like get extra farm that way, like late in the game, just to do something. Like it's just kind of like not acceptable that nobody on your team is like taking this like little bit of like space bottom because you guys like need space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hanging around. We'll see what items you. I would definitely rush a Lotus Orb this game. It's like 100% what I would do because they have this bounty, and it's really good against Invoker. It's decent against Rubik.
Yeah, I wish I went to Lotus Orb now that you say it.
What are you doing? You healed your team. Like camera movement is kind of weird here. Shouldn't you be like watching what's happening? I like clicked over and then I'll be like watching what's going on over here. Like see where this Invoker like disappeared. Can I use a dust on him? I don't know what's going on here. You notice bottom is like pushing into you guys, then all of a sudden both your cores are like, oh, I can farm that. We'll see if they both walk away from the lane again. Especially the bounty hunter's showing bottom right now. So yeah, this is happening. Like this shit is happening. My cores are like inefficiently spreading out again. Like I'm just walking down mid here with like this creep wave and pushing it out. Like all my cores walked away from mid lane. It's the same as bottom lane last time. Literally none of my cores are like.
Fear of like the bounty hunter, maybe irrational fear.
Well, yeah, you just queue from a distance. Like I'm not saying like sit down here where the creeps meet. Like you just queue and push it out. Like it's so important that somebody's pushing this lane out. And like just nobody's doing it. I mean, they're getting a pick off, like, right? If you're not like actively doing something, like you need to be focusing more on lanes here for sure. Because like you just throwing Qs here and pressuring this and like getting creeps like hitting their tower, like it's gonna force them to react, and they're like, you know, it's just gonna force somebody mid instead of to this top fight right here. Like that's what's gonna happen. Somebody will literally be mid instead of this top fight right now.
Rip.
Bottom tower is
Yeah.
under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean we're like hanging out up here. Is AM TP in?
Radiant structures are fortified.
AM's bottom. Your AM TP's in. Good lord. It's the worst TP I've ever seen in my life.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah, I noticed that like nobody's bottom again, and I was like, huh. And then I rewinded and AM was bottom. This is like a total grief by this AM to like just TP in while there's like 4 heroes.
All good. It's all good. It's not my friend, so I'm fine with it.
It's just wild. Smoke your team here.
Dire are scared.
Oh yeah, we knew we were doing good.
Actually, warding is probably something we should talk about. I haven't seen you buy a lot of wards yet this game. I guess somebody is, because you guys are almost out of sentries, which makes sense because you have a bounty. Have you been buying wards? Am I crazy? Oh, you're buying most of the wards for your team. I just haven't been noticing, I guess, that you've been buying wards. But like, if they've been like pushing up here, I guess have a sentry here. I guess it's hard to tell because like replay bugs don't like show me all the words on the mini map, so it like looks like you guys have like no vision here at all. And it's like showing me their vision, which is like not what you would see.
Dire are scared.
Maybe like you guys smoke and try to contest. They go in. That's pretty sick. I think make sure you try and use your mana boots mid fight. It's like it can be a lot to think about, but like this Alk is almost out of mana, right? Like just a support casually popping their arcanes like mid team fight can actually make a huge difference for your course, like a huge difference. So just try and make sure you're like if they're off cooldown, like it just takes a second. You just have to think about it, obviously. Wow, you are running away from this bounty hunter.
We live in fear of him.
You guys have like 4 heroes alive, and you and Alk are like delta splitting for some reason. Like in this situation, like you guys should be running at the bounty hunter and like pinging him like they're all dead. And also like if he's gonna run at you here, which like is fine, like you need to run towards your team.
Yeah.
Like if he's gonna kill you, it needs to be near your team. Like if you're running away from your team, you're like griefing because he's gonna get the kill and then get away, possibly. Whereas like if you just cast your E on yourself, you know, stick, drop your seeds, and like walk towards your team, or just right click them and like make sure you get your dust off before you die. Like that's how this bounty hunter for sure dies.
Right.
Which like, and this stuff can matter a lot. Like you're just running away from your team here, which like you just can't do in this situation.
Panic.
Yeah, definitely panicking a little bit. You know, you're a support, right? Like it's totally okay if you die if this guy's gonna die too. And like if you're manning up and hitting your stick and pressing your living armor on yourself and not panicking, like you might not even die there. Like he might just, you know, he dies and you got like 50 health left. You know.
I live in shame, brother.
Yeah, it feels bad. Alright, let's see what happens when you respawn. You guys win a huge team fight and literally nobody pushes out bottom. The classic. The Divine Classic. Alright, so we've got a Blink Dagger. I'm just getting items. I'll kind of getting items. They're showing a lot of heroes bottom. Yeah, so like when they're showing a lot of heroes bottom here, like what should you do? Like what's nobody else in your team doing right now?
Yeah, go to another lane and push it.
Like push out mid. Like somebody needs to be pushing out mid right now. And like if it's not your team, it needs to be you. And that's the like, I mean that's probably like the one lesson that every high Divine player needs to learn no matter what role they fucking play is like, if nobody's pushing like the mid or like the enemy safe lane wave at all, like somebody needs to be doing it and it needs to be you. I don't care what fucking role you are. If you're the carry, do it. If you're the mid, do it. If you're the support, do it. Like this is so bad that like this is happening, and like not that like somebody's not there immediately. Like you should be like just beelining for mid right now to like throw a Q down. There's like nothing else to do. There's literally nothing else to do. You see what I mean? Like nothing's happening. Yep. It's like the most important thing you can do, and there's not even anything else you can do except grief your alk by blocking his camp from spawning. Oh, no.
Yeah, I did that a couple times.
Yeah, and like now this is happening, and this is just trash. Like, cause it doesn't need to be happening, right? Like they're gonna get free information here in a second, as like 3 of your heroes show on the same creep wave. Like all they did was like Rubik pushed this in once, and like they got free information on where 2 of your cores were. You know?
Yeah.
This stuff is like so important. Yeah, so don't get baited into the mindset of like following your team around. Like your mindset should be like, I want to split push waves, and then I'll show up to like help them fight with the TP, right? Like what should you do here?
I don't know. Living armor bottom and push out that wave.
Yeah, you don't. I don't care about the living armor. Just walk bottom and push out bottom, right? Like why is nobody pushing on bottom now? And you know, you just do this shit from the trees. Like you're not like trying to show and get every CS. You're just trying to like make the lanes not shit. Like your guys' lanes are just constantly ass, and it's because nobody, including you, is like really caring. And you know, you're the one getting coached, so we want you to care. Alright, keep what's happening. It's very cool. Nice roots. Very cool. Let's go bounty. Housekeeping bottom. So if you want to hang out and like D-push mid, that's cool, but you're not. You're just like not pressing buttons. But like another good thing that you can do in like these situations where like you want to fight and like you have some space is like you have all these smokes, right? Try and like, it'd be nice if you had another ward, but even like just with the one ward, it's nice to have a ward. If you like were to smoke yourself right now, and like walk and like drop like some random obs like on a cliff here, or just like here in their jungle, right? Give you guys a deep ward, like that will set up your next play.
Right.
And like they totally would not be expecting it, right? Like you just want to fight, you see them all mid, like you just like sneak in here and just drop an obs like right here, right? It's like gonna set up a lot because you still eventually need this tower, right? And you still eventually need this mid tower. And like you're not doing anything else anyways, right? Your AM's taking care of top, or he's feeding or something, I don't know, and your Alex taking care of bottom. Like this is good. Like your options right now are basically like stack or do some sort of warding or dewarding, or like smoke right now if you guys want to go again and like smoke and like walk towards your Alk who's pushing this in, right? Smoke and walk down here with your Phoenix. I think you're only like it's the only like productive use of your time. It's like you're just kind of sitting here not doing anything.
Right.
I mean, you're like trying to pay attention to your AM. It's like whatever. Like you could be doing that while you're doing anything else. So yeah, like getting a ward down there would have been like really nice. And it's just like what can I be doing? Like you literally didn't have anything else to do, and you're like holding 3 smokes, right? I'm just like looking at what's going on. Like you have 3 smokes in a ward, and there's like nothing else going on. It's Pretty defensive ward. It's also really close to your other one. It's like, you kind of like have the right idea, right? But like if you had like, if you dropped a ward like here, right? Doesn't that give you guys like opportunity to like make your own plays instead of just like react defensively? Because you guys have like good initiation, right? If this Alex charging a stun, he has a blink dagger. Like you guys can like catch and like kill people for sure. Where are we going?
Yeah, I felt super lost this game, but I feel like I have a lot more clarity now.
Yeah. So like here again, like let's just look at the mini map. Like, you guys have 4 heroes in your triangle. Dawn pushed out 1 wave. And then you literally all walk away from the bottom lane again. Again.
I live in shame.
No one cares. Like, no one on your team cares about this lane. It's crazy. Like, there's just no one's bottom again. Like, oh my god, dude. And this is like how, like, if you were to play against like a stack of like Immortals, this is how they would like tear you apart, because they're constantly shoving in their lanes. It's like the only thing they care about. And like this is why you know, people like you are high divine, is because like you just don't care. And then your lanes are trash all the time, and then all the fights that are set up are like usually bad. Fight happening. Oh, so you bought a blink, and then you don't have any gold. Okay. Yeah, we're not getting a Lotus this game, unfortunately. So this whole fight happens. It's like not a good one. Okay, but you like kind of lose it, right? Like, you guys lose this fight, and then you all just like run towards your base. Like, what I would need you to do, and like, you know, I'd rather AM did this because he's like a mobile hero, but like, just walk like this way and then fucking down the lane. Like, just be out here split pushing and like making them like have to like come find you, or like at least deal with the lane pressure that you're making, and ideally not kill you. Because like you guys walking around as like multiple heroes in your jungle is like not helping. Like, right, if they find you, they're gonna kill you, so there's no point in being there. You know. And if they find your AM, they're gonna kill him, and you're not gonna save him, really. He's like either gonna get out or he's not. Like, you're just not doing anything, right?
Right.
And like, I don't think it's your like. There's nothing. It's because there's nothing to do here. You're in the wrong part of the map. Like, don't get boxed in, right? Like, you lost a fight, just fucking whoop, walk. Like, because what are they gonna do? Like, they're not gonna like. Maybe somebody TP's. If it was me, if I was on their team, maybe I would TP bottom here, but like. If I'm their team right now, this bothers me a little bit. This doesn't bother me at all, because honestly we still have this tier 1. Like, I don't care about this tier 1 as Radiant if I'm them. Like, I want to be controlling this area if I'm them, right? So like the odds that like if you just walk down here and like, you know, walk the trees all the way down, like there's not gonna be anybody here, or there shouldn't be if they're playing like smart. Like, there's no reason for them to like be down here, right? Like, you don't need to be scared. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like, there shouldn't be anybody down here, just in case that's what you're worried about. And like, even if there was going to be somebody, right, we're a hero that's very good at like split pushing and not dying. Do you want to like watch the next replay maybe? I don't think there's any more to cover in this game. That's like the main gist, obviously.
Yeah, let's watch the next one.
All right.
I feel like I can only get roasted for not deep pushing, you know, 6 times. I'll get it eventually.
But you can see how much it matters, like throughout the game. It wasn't like just like once or twice. It's like, here you could have done it, here you could have done it, and you know, we watched your team on the mini map multiple times. Like, everybody like walked away from like that bottom lane. It's like wild. You know, if you can just if it can like just not be you that's like walking away from that lane, and you're just like constantly pushing that lane out, like you're just gonna like win games that like you weren't winning before. Because all your fights will just be easier. Okay, so you're CM, and this guy picked a Drow. You're probably against.
It's Razor Snap.
Razor, yeah. Okay. These items are kind of reasonable. Theory, you guys can kind of go ham here, unless you like, kind of like, fuck up and take like a really bad trade. Like 2v1.
We try to go ham, but it's kind of like back and forth.
Yeah, we'll see. The important thing is just going to be like if you're doing 2v1 or not. If you're getting 2v1 or if they're 2v1ing you. Nice. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is like a nice call to be aggressive. I like that.
Yeah, I didn't pick those up.
These like droughts items.
Yeah, that's kind of trash.
Definitely important to pick those up, but I would probably, honestly, like I would probably buy like another Tango and like Mango here for sure.
Got it.
Right. What's gonna happen this lane?
Just a lot of trading.
A lot of trading. Like you guys are basically gonna be like hitting each other constantly. So if you can just like win the regen battle, or at least sustain, like you guys will just out damage them in this lane. Like Razor's like kind of trash in lane unless he like gets a really good link off. Yeah, I mean this is like exactly what I would expect to happen. And like granted you didn't need the Tango Mangoes there, but like this situation and then being able to do it again and again and again. And you actually did need all your Mangoes, right? You're out of Mangoes now. Buy one more Tango. Yeah, this isn't gonna cut it. Right, you've used all your Mangoes in the first like 2 minutes, right? We'll see. Okay, D-word. It's okay that it didn't happen until now.
This'll come in handy.
Nice little stack attempt, I guess. Okay, so we're going to get the lane back. This is like decent. It's good, actually. It's very good. But level 2. Okay, we're fighting them. Really nice. Cool. Oh, oops. Ah, shit. I hit that button all the time. Next highlight. How is that a helpful button? I don't know. Are you still with me?
I never hit. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so this, like, you're sort of in a good spot, I guess, but, like, right, if you had needed one more Mango to, like, finish off that Razor, like, you would have had it.
Yeah.
Now you've got a bunch of golds. Let's see what you buy.
Probably just boots.
Okay, you buy no regen. Okay, you're walking base at least. This makes sense. This makes sense. If you want to do it this way, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't know if I should have just stayed, but I decided.
No, I think it's fine. You wanna fight, and you were low resources. So I think what you did is actually fine here. I would definitely be coming out of this base with like a smoke and like another Mango or two. Like CM just needs Mangoes all lane, like all lane or not all lane. Sorry, all early game.
Right.
Like if you, I think if you like came in and refilled this guy's bottle, like you could like pressure inch a little bit, or you could like walk bottom and like fuck with them. And if you to like do that, you just like need Mangoes. I like this bottle refill though. It's really nice. Helping your lean out a little bit. Oh, he died. That sucks. Well, it's not really your fault.
Yeah, this Enchantress goes ham this game.
Okay, well this is like a reasonable rotation mid. Going back top. It's fine. It's good. Because it's like going well. Very cool. Sweet.
I think he went well top. It's getting like wrecked everywhere else, so maybe I should have been more balanced than. I don't know.
No, I think, honestly, I think you've been playing pretty good here. Just playing a little bit less regen. Like here, like this is my thought, right? You fly out the Tranks, you buy the Tranks and fly mounts, right? And you've still got 100 gold, right? And you've got Tranks on the courier. I think that's the only item. These reflex are so annoying. Oh, cool, I found it. Oh, you're flying on a sentry and a smoke. That's good. I really like the smoke. I was gonna say I would really want to see you get a smoke and also like a clarity. Like just don't be low. Like CM, you basically want to be full mana all the time, because if you start a fight at half mana, you're gonna cast 2 spells and that's it. Because like you don't need to run back to base here. Is my point. Like if you meet your courier here, you can just like walk mid, or you can walk bottom. Because now you don't have a TP, or well, okay, you buy a TP, but then you like use it, right? Like we could have been bottom at like full resources. And our TP could have been off cooldown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these are like kind of really important moves to like to not have to like use your TP, right? Like thinking like, can I stay on the map in this situation? Like the Shranks would have got your HP. Like one clarity would have handled your mana, and then you would have been full HP, full resources, like going bottom. Okay, so you're like really strong. Like I get that you refill this guy's bottle. It's like fine. But like at this point, like your drow is like basically like safely farming the lane. Like I really want you to go bottom here and like be able to contribute. Like you're strong and you like offer a lot and you've already kind of secured your top lane a bit. It'd be really nice if you could go bottom and contribute. Kind of like last game. Last game it was because our lane was shit. And it was like, okay, well maybe we can just go bottom and do something different. In this game, it's like we're having a good game. It's like, why don't we go bottom and have impact? And ideally, you do it with a TP up, so you can like TP top if you need to help Drow. Or if like Razor shows back up, and you can just be like, oh, we can kill this Razor. Then you can like TP top and just kill the Razor, right? You're like stacking, which is like okay. You have like Drow Lina, I guess. Yeah, you're kind of like hanging around mid. But, like not a whole lot is happening. Like, you're waiting for something to happen, is what's happening, right? Instead of you being bottom, like, applying pressure and forcing them to react to what you're doing. Like, you're constantly waiting for something to happen. Like, I just think you're really strong.
And I just gotta go bottom, bro.
Bottom, which you guys are, like, just not quite getting the... Get into these trades. And, like, your Drow died, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you got snap ulted.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying, like, you guys, like, are 100% crushing every lane. Like, maybe you go bottom and it, like, doesn't work, right? But if we don't go bottom, like, we'll never know. Also, we have no mana again. Did you just fly yourself out? Oh, no, you've got a bunch of sentries. So, yeah, here you're flying yourself out. Sentries. It's really annoying that we can't see your courier. Oh, there it is. Oh, you flew out one clarity. Yeah,
Bro, I ain't
really
got no
enough.
money.
Yeah, inch core is like pretty dirty.
Nah, it was really good this game.
Yeah, I unironically don't think it's bad. Like it can be like bad, but if the person knows what they're doing and just like plays normal, it's like pretty good.
I mean, they've got like the Lich armor.
So you're like stacking again.
Yeah, I guess I just played too passively this game. I just need to go bottom.
Yeah, I mean the way you're playing is just like like it feels like you're really weak, but like I don't think you are, right? Like you're only level 5 here, but like if we go back, like, when do you hit level 5? Oh. So you hit level 5 off this like little XP that you get from like 5 minutes, like or at the minute. I mean at 9 minutes, but like you're like. Well, I guess everybody's level 5. I guess you were a little under-leveled. That's weird. I feel like at some point you had to have been, like, one of the higher levels, right?
I didn't even know this tab existed.
I guess not. I guess not. You were just, like, at the bottom of XP. I don't know. I don't know. Me watching this game, I was just like, oh, it feels like you're like strong and have impact. Like if you go on bottom, and that's just like never happened. Around mid a lot. Watch this already. Stack again. We watched the stacking already.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Is under attack.
Yeah, like based on what they're doing, like I think what you're doing here is like okay. They're like not. They're only applying pressure to like your mid lane. And you're kind of like defending it, so I think that's fine. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, we're just getting rolled.
Yeah, eventually they were gonna die. Eventually they were gonna dive you. Ideally, like your like team like shows up here when they're diving you, and even if you die, it's like not a big deal. But yeah, nobody's showing up. So I'm just going blank. Your Trout's like.
I think at that point, I just need to tell my team, you know, these guys want us. Get ready to TP.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing you can do. I guess the only other thing to consider is, like, at any point could you have gone... Could you have left? I'm actually looking at the mini-map right now. Like, technically, like, if you show up with this Pudge... To this Pudge and, like, Nature Prophet here, I think you guys just kill him. And there's, like, awkward, like, hanging around him again. The Nature Prophet's still bottom. We're, like, stacking. Yeah, because, like, this Pudge is, like, kind of chilling. Like, he's not pressuring the tower. But, like, nobody's playing with him. So, if you, like, just go play around him, like, smoke with your Mirana, and, like, just go see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
It's not bad that you guys are, like, defending the mid tower. Like, losing it for free wouldn't be ideal. I mean, ideally, your Drow or Lina can kind of, like, do this. Not, like, constantly, but just, like, do it for, like, a wave, right? While you and Mirana are, like, going bottom. It's, like, Sage Prophet could, like, die. But yeah, unfortunately, your team just, like, never shows up when they, like, die. So, it's like, what are you gonna do? So, like, casted that Chain Frost, and then Mirana, like, leaped into you and then started bouncing. That was great.
So, that's Dota for you, man.
Okay, so they are going on your Pudge bottom. Alright, you guys. Yeah, I mean, I wanna look up. I just wanna like look up a game of like a CM and like kind of watch how they play. You know what I mean?
Just like some Dota 2 Pro Tracker.
Yeah, exactly. Just so we can like get a really good like comparison of like what could this look like. Granted, this game they lost, but yeah.
Damn, bro. Rank 2.
Rank 2. I think it's Arteezy.
Who knows?
Watson. I don't know who Watson is.
He's carry for Entity, I think. It's like some British guy. I don't know. Oh, I want to ask you some other things before we go through this.
Oh, sure.
Probably for like future sessions, but I want to learn how like people check for observer wards in the river in the beginning of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I want to be able to like, deward some stuff in the beginning of the game. I don't know if that's like advised or not, or if you do it.
I don't do it a lot. Basically, what you do is you go into.
Should I be doing it, or I don't know, just like early game map movements?
I don't think it's that important. Like, I don't think if you're like not doing it, like you're messing up.
Okay.
I mean, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy and I just don't do it. But like, I don't see people doing it in my games constantly. Like, people do it sometimes, but people aren't doing it all the time. Because like people like a lot of times the mids will like hang around mid. Like if you see this Ember, like he's just chilling here. Like if somebody like walks up, a lot of times like their mid will just see what you're doing. It's like kind of how the meta's like the mini meta around like doing that has evolved. But like what you do is you walk like behind these trees, and the tower range extends beyond these trees. But if you walk into the tower range, but at the very edge of it, the tower will not see you. Like the tower vision is less than the tower attack range at night, which the game starts at night. So if you walk into the vision, if you like hold down Alt or whatever you use to see the tower attack range and walk into it, and it doesn't attack you, you know they don't have a ward there. Assuming they don't have a hero that like obviously sees you. Whereas
How about dire side?
Like, it's anywhere. It's anywhere. I said
anywhere.
behind the trees, but it doesn't matter. Like you could be standing right here. Like if you're in the tower range, attack range, but they don't have a ward, if you're standing in it at the very edge, it literally won't attack you. The trees like can help if you're like not sure. Yeah, like if they have a hero there, maybe like right you can check, and they definitely don't have a hero, so that's what the trees can be helpful for. And if they have a ward here, then the tower will attack you.
Got it.
And yeah, sometimes people like check it with like behind like these trees or something. It can like the trees are mostly like just trying to if you think they have a ward based on the tower attacking you to like kind of see exactly where it might be using like the fog that the trees would give. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. And maybe for like future sessions, I'm in a league now, but it's like the first time I'm doing captain's mode, so I'm trying to draft. I kind of have ideas, but I don't really like, have experience with it. So do you like do draft analysis or any of that stuff on like how I should be thinking or?
I can help out a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm like super good at it, but it is something that like I've been playing in a couple leagues the last like couple months, and like they're all captain's mode. So I've been thinking about it more. I don't think I'm like great at it. I have drafted for my team before, like in RD2L. So yeah, I'd be willing to help you out with it. I think
Nice.
the main concerns are like draft what you're comfortable playing. Like stuff your team's comfortable playing is always going to be better than the like ideal optimal pick in that situation if your like player doesn't play the hero.
All right.
And then
That's
just
good,
trying to make sure you have some sort of answer for what you see them picking, because that's like a weakness that like even in my like Immortal league I've been playing. Like I'll just show you one of our drafts because it's an example of what we should not be doing. But like we lost this first game. Well, we lost both games, but they had a troll. Or no, sorry, they had an Ember. They picked this Ember first phase. These pick orders things aren't correct, but they picked this Ember first phase. They picked like Tusk Ember, and we had picked like Enchmag or whatever. I think they had first pick, or maybe they had like Lich. I don't know. They had this Ember first phase, and then they banned some heroes, right? But we picked this SF, which like technically wins the lane, or like it should, and like he did fine in lane. But none of our heroes like catch and kill Ember. Like we have no lockdown for Ember except for Ravage and RP. So like they first phased this Ember, and then we didn't draft something that like can kill the Ember during the game. So like if you can just draft what your team's comfortable with, and then like just make sure you have some sort of answer for heroes that they show you that like if they have last pick, like you're not supposed to be able to have their last pick counter, right? Unless they're like drafting bad. But like if they first phase a hero that's a core and you don't answer at all for the rest of the game, like
that's on you.
Then yeah, it's just on your draft. It's just on the drafting, and it's hard to do. It's hard to do. Like it's hard to be because there's so much to think about with drafting, and you don't have a lot of time. But those are the two main things. Like pick comfort shit, and then make sure you're addressing what they're like picking, and not just like they don't get so wrapped up in your own plan that you're like kind of ignoring what they're picking.
Got it.
Did you have any other questions you want to ask before we like look at this real quick?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay. Okay, so we start this Q. You started your W, which was fine though. This just like kind of depends on what the lane's going to be doing. So he blocks the big camp. It's also like better for securing the range creep.
Yeah.
But okay, he's like constantly harassing. See how much regen he has? He started 6 tangos and 4 mangoes, and then got the stick, and then he's flying out south, right? Like he knows that he's gonna be like constantly trading and fighting them, and then he's like flying out a ton of regen. You didn't do this bad. It was just like right. You could have flown out like 1 more mango, right? Or like, and you could have bought an extra tango and like mango to lane that we talked about after like a respawn. Okay, so he's playing to have the pole blocked, so the Doom can't get a creep, I guess. This is a support Doom, it looks like.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under
I'm not super interested in the lane, other than to note that he's like buying all this regen like we talked about. He's flying out his courier again. What's on it? Our raindrop. Also, yeah, I was gonna mention I didn't. Like, you could have bought a raindrop in your game, you didn't. But I almost always buy raindrop on CM. If they're gonna have any spells that are gonna like proc raindrop, I'll like buy it. Because like the hero just wants the mana regen, and you're so squishy. This damage block goes a long way. Like the lower HP you are, the more damage block matters. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Every 120 damage you block is like a bigger percentage of your HP.
Like fifth of his health.
Yeah. Okay, so he's not like owning this lane with the monkey because it's against a Wind Ranger, So, like, I want to see when he decides to leave. Is he helping his monkey by being here? I think so, because otherwise, like, the Doom and Windranger would just be, like, harassing him a ton, right? Like, him being there means that they can't just, like, go at his monkey all the time. He tried to go mid to help with the rune. It didn't work. But, you know, that's high-level Dota for you. Wow, that's an interesting ward, D ward. Okay, so he's blocking. So he oh no, this doesn't block. No, I think this does block. It's weird that he blocked it with an OBS. Maybe this doesn't block. I'm not sure. Because if it did block, I wouldn't expect him to put an OBS down. So this is like just to scout for his monkey, basically, if they're gonna gank. It's like what that ward is. To like try and see like the tusk come. And his monkey's jungling now. And he's a CM, right? He's not like a tree or something. Like tree, if your carry goes in jungles, you kind of want to just hang out on the tower, but he's a CM. So he leaves. He's not feeling like he's having a lot of impact in his lane. He just shows up mid. He's harassing a little bit. Doing some D-ward action. So the clock rotated to his lane. Like, you notice how he's like not in his lane anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on here. Like a weird timing. It wasn't even out of rune timing. Like everybody's like fighting mid.
High level Dota, man.
Right. He doesn't have a TP, so he can't go top. He refilled bottom mid. So he's hanging around mid, like trying to secure runes with his Ember, who's like his strongest hero. I find it interesting that he does go top here instead of going bottom. Like I would think in this situation, like if I was watching this and like nothing's happening, right? Ember and Monkey are like just jungling. Maybe he knows that like they can't like kick out the snap, or him and the snap can't kick out the Rubik, I guess. So maybe he's just like trying to tank a gank or something. I don't really know what he's doing. He's like soaking some XP mid. Okay, so this team like goes for like a coordinated play, and that's why he's here in the top lane. But, like, in your game, like, that's probably not going to happen, right? So you could just, like, go bottom. In this case, it would have been, like, with a snap, right? And just pressure the Weaver, right? Make them show up to you. Give your Ember space. Give your Monkey space. Like, here, in high-level Dota, like, you know, it doesn't quite work like that because they'll respond in a very coordinated way if you're just, like, doing range. But, like, at your level, that's what you need to do. It's, like, you need to have the macro steps, like, down, and because, like, the people won't react, like, the way they will in, like, these super high-level games. TP's mid, refills the bottle. Now he's circling bottom. He's pushing mid, but he's looking to contribute bottom. And this like makes pressure and like for the monkey. Unfortunately, this Weaver like kills him. What does he do when he respawns? Refill bottle again? It's like all he's been doing all game. TP's top. Okay, he's like trying to get his team to like come kill this Tusk. It's like a weird TP, I think. Like, it's like... I think that was a really weird TP. Like, you're a CM. He like, really wanted to kill the Tusk. If, like, the monkey had been really fast, it would have killed the Tusk, but... That's the only reason he went top, is to specifically try and, like, get that pick-off kill. Otherwise, it would have made way more sense for him to be bottom with his team. Or if he had walked mid, he could depush the wave and then, like, TP bottom if, like, they, like, try and defend bottom tower. So...
I mean, we saw the result. He just fed.
Yeah. Alright, what time is it? There's still a little bit more time. Should we go back to that CM game? We didn't, like, finish watching the CM game, so...
I know, it's kind of miserable.
Is there another replay that you'd want to look at for a little bit? Or do you want to, like, jump back into the CM game?
Let me take a look.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and there's Giga Chad Lena who just wrecked us. I don't know, we just kept clumping up and she just bursted us.
It do be like that sometimes.
So there might have been a different way to play the fights, or maybe we should have just chilled out a little bit.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, again, just how to play the map.
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's read the Pudge. Block the camp.
The lane goes really well, I think. I'm more interested in what happens, like, you know, second half of the game.
Okay. Spells. It's a shame you took Arcane Aura. Usually you want that level 2 spike.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
See what you mean? This lane is going very well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top
Maybe go top here.
Radiant's top tower is
This
under
will come in
attack.
handy.
Maybe mid. Well, it can depend. Like reacting to like something going on mid is fine. In situations where your lane's going very well, like I will be a little more liable to like continue playing in that lane just because like if they keep showing up, right? Because then
Right.
I can just keep killing them. If they like completely bounce, you know, like if the axe shows up top or some shit, then like yeah, like you should go top, right?
Okay.
I don't think it's bad that you're not going back right now. I'm just saying, like in general, you don't always have to like leave your lane when it's going well, right? Sometimes when it's going well, that's when you want to stay a little bit longer.
Right.
So you're playing on the rune here. This is nice. Skill, but tiny.
Tiny was really good.
So yeah, like note that the axe has not been back in the lane bottom, right? This last like minute, I've not seen him. Like he's showing now, but then you like come mid, and you do this you do all this stuff, kill the Kunkka. But, like the axe is like not bottom anymore, like on the mini map, right? So like I wouldn't feel the need to like go back bottom right now. I would like to have a TP, and like some more mana regen. I'm flying out here. Yeah, these like single clarities like are really not cutting it. Like you gotta be more aggressive with your mana regen purchases. Like buy the extra clarity or buy a mango. Like you have the raindrop. It seems like you're skipping raindrop again this game. I don't think you should. I usually buy raindrop CM like almost every game, unless they like literally have nothing that procs it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. None to burn. Radiant structures are
You
fortified.
come bottom. Spell. Oh wait, I already watched this.
We watched this.
Sorry.
It's all good.
And you go back top. Yeah, you just like can't even use your spells. Like you don't even cast Frostbite because you have no mana.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We used a Q. Still don't have mana. So I haven't. Okay, we did use W there. So I think like what you're doing is like reasonable. You're just like not having the regen to do it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, so you did fly range up now. That's good. Better late than never.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it looks like some more mangoes or something. You all of a sudden have like mana.
Dire's top tower
Because you're
is
taking the
under
tower. You're chilling with your centaur while the tower's being taken. I think this is like reasonable. Smoked. Very cool. Nice play.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so this is where I'm like, this is where you need to have a TP, right? Like you just made this play. This is like great. Like pop your clarity, get that mana going, right? You have your aura, you have the clarity, you have the raindrop. Like this clarity will get you a long way. And then like I'd be like looking around the map, like what can I do? Right? Tinker's gonna Z-push mid. Like maybe I can make a stack. Like what's going on bottom? We don't know because like these replay bugs are still not fixed, right? But like this is what's going on bottom. Right? Maybe you can TP in here and like get 2 more kills.
Yeah.
If you have a TP up. So this is just like not having a TP, I guess. But also the importance of like the mana again. Which you were doing better at this point, so.
I need to set hotkeys for my shop and auto buy.
Dire's
I have my shop on mouse wheel scroll up, so like I can instantly open shop anytime. Yeah,
cool.
I definitely recommend having your shop on a hotkey if you don't. Yeah, because I constantly pulling up shop. I think as a support, it's like the most important. Like playing with those mangoes, the wards, whatever. Because yeah, like you should kind of be bottom here. You should definitely be bottom here. This is just like really bad. You just like didn't have a TP.
Smart money.
Okay, so this stuff's happening bottom, and you take this thing mid. Okay, so your tiny walked bottom, and now we see their ogre and their Nyx bottom. So like even if you don't have a TP here, like I need you to either shove mid super hard and literally be right clicking their tower, or like I need you to walk bottom. So we're pushing this in. Like I need you to right. Like look at what's happening on the map right now.
Right.
Like if you're not there, like I want you fucking right clicking this tower. Dude, like you're CM. You'll hit it 12 times and you'll do like 200 damage and it'll be worth it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, we're kind of like just doing nothing.
Dire's middle
Don't be afraid to hit the mid tower on sports. Like if you can't be at the fight, like because you don't have a TP or TP goes on cooldown, whatever the reason, like it doesn't even matter at that point, right? It's like, okay, I can't be there. Like, hit the mid tower. If you don't play mid, maybe you don't realize how important this is, but like, any casual damage you can get on their mid tower is huge. Assuming they don't have a treant that's like just going to be healing it. And in which case it doesn't matter because they'll just heal it. But in all games without treants, it's so important to like just get casual chip damage. Like if you're not doing anything else anyways. So you walked top. Just like... Okay, so you pushed out mid. Well, so you do the next best thing, I guess, which is like take the top lane. This is like that first game where you never went bottom. Now it's top. So you are... So this... I actually think this is good. Nobody else is here. Now your centaur's coming up. Okay, you're like trying to get him like smoke or something. Yeah, now stuff's happening bottom. They're like diving crazy far. There's not really anything you can do about that. The only thing I would say about this TP that you made was like, you didn't really like look at what was happening, right? From your camera perspective. We see on the minimap stuff's happening, but then you just like, basically you just panic TP. Don't do this, right? Because like if you had like looked, right? If we're like looking at what's going on here, like I don't want to TP into this. My Pudge dove, my Tiny died. But nothing's happening here. This is like a really bad TP, but you just weren't like looking. And then you like, and then you're on this bottom part of the map as a CM by yourself. And did you watch my video where like I covered the Winter Wyvern in the CM game?
How long ago was it?
I don't know. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe it was like a month ago or something though. Because
I feel like I pretty much watch every single one of your videos, but I don't remember that one.
Okay, I'll link it to you, and if you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it because it's like on position 5 gameplay and shit. Where is it? Oh. That's not it. Here it is. And yeah, you've already seen it. I mean, obviously that's fine. Maybe you just don't remember, but in that video, I talk about CM specifically and how TPing to your own safe lane towers as CM is usually trash. Like if you're having a good game on CM, like sort of like if you're playing a Winter Wyvern or Treant, you want to be in your safe lane tier 1, like defending it and making it hard for them to take it. Like that's what your hero's good at. CM is not good at that. So you should not want to TP bottom ever unless you're like planning on like wiping them. Like if you guys think you're so strong and they're like trying to push your tower and you're like, all right, let's just go kill them all. Like that's the only situation in which you should want to TP bottom on CM. Otherwise, like you should want to play this area and control it and like push it in and take this tower and like just kill them over and over again in this area. Like that's what your hero wants to do and is good at doing. So like when you're up here with the centaur, this is like good. Like your team is just like focusing on bottom like a lot. which is like, it is what it is. Technically with the Tinker, that's like, can sort of strategically be good, because the longer Tinker's tier 1 towers stay alive, the harder it is to take them. But like, they're not defending towers, right? They're like diving and shit, which is not what you want to be doing. If you're making aggressive plays on CM, you want to be doing it up here. If your team's doing this shit, like, you shouldn't want to participate. You should want to keep this shoved in, which you were doing. You walked top and shoved it in, which you were doing, which was great. The Centaur came up here, which is good. And like, I'd be like trying to get a deep ward here and then pushing in mid again and waiting for my team to like play the right part of the map, basically. So like this TP, like obviously it's like too late anyways, but even if it wasn't, sorry,
Where would you put the deep ward?
like just like on this cliff or like right here on this hill or something. You can kind of put it on this hill too. It's like a little obvious, like anywhere where you think you can like defend it with your team, which also is going to require a team like playing the right way. And if they don't, then it's like not going to work out. But if you can just, if the first step to this style is keeping top and mid pushed in. So like start there. And then if you're doing that and your team's playing with you, then get the deep ward here and like play in their jungle and kill them if they show up. Right?
Right.
That's how we play from ahead as CM. And if your team like wastes time by like doing these stupid ass dives, like so be it, you know. Like maybe they'll even throw the game. And you know, that's not to say like, you know, if you can have an impact by CPN, like you could do it, but you don't want to. That's not what you want to do on CM. You just get like Nick's picked off.
Feels bad, man.
All right, we're like close to being at time, but let's keep going a little bit. Try and get like more of this game. So we're playing drums. I think this is a bad drums game. I'm just leading your lineup. Tinker, Centaur, Pudge. None of these heroes care if they're getting drums. You agree?
Yeah.
Like, the move speed is like, like, okay. The move speed is okay. But the attack speed is, like, completely useless. And you guys have Centaur ulti anyways, so, like, the drums, like...
What would you go? Like, I go drums, Aether Lens.
I think Glimmer is good, and Yules is really good. Yules is very good against Axe and Kunkka. And Glimmer is very good against Ogre, Lina, Kunkka, Nyx. Glimmer is good against all of them. I'd probably just get like a Glimmer and then a Yules. Force Staff is like not that good. It's like okay. Like it's good against like the Nyx stun and the Ogre stun for your allies, but your cast range is kind of garbo, so... Yeah, Aether's not bad, but I think it's like a very good Glimmer game and a very good Yules game, so that's probably what I would go for. Just based off the lineups.
Right.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So we respawn.
I need
We respawned, we walked mid, but our Pudge TP'd bottom again. So yeah, your cores are just like griefing your game here. So like push this in. You've got your TP up, right? So like if you need to like save your Pudge if they like do some crazy dive bottom, cool, you're gonna do it. Otherwise, like I would just like chill here. Maybe smoke with my Tiny like up here and see if anybody's here. You could place a ward. Cause like where are they? I mean, we like they're like Kunkka and their Lina are in our jungle, right? And then you guys will just kind of like walk in and they're like all fucking here. The two, you know. But like we don't want to fight them in our jungle down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. This is new. And like nothing needs to happen right now because your Centaur's chilling, your Tinker's chilling. They're literally taking free casual damage on their mid tower, which is super bad. And like literally you could like AFK hands off the keyboard and like this game is going well for the next like 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you don't, nothing needs to happen for your team right here. And then you guys just kind of like walk in like casually through in a bad part of the map. Right? Because if they want to fight down here, they're going to take your tower. And then, or they're going to take this tower, right? Like this is just going to give them exactly what they want.
Yeah. Feels bad.
Yeah, we're just like throwing our lead. Yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, Tiny partially initiated it, but like you and Tiny, like, it's like, what are you guys doing? Okay, so that fight was still going on, so we like showed up to it. We're playing around mid. Very cool. Okay, we're overextending a little bit.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, our Tinker's, like, kind of popping off, but we don't have our Centaur or Pudge, so this, just make sure you're, like, just try and, like, tune into, like, exactly what you guys are doing here. Like, if Pudge and Centaur are nearby, and you've got Centaur ult up, like, what you're doing is, like, perfect, because if they, like, go on you, your team's gonna kill them all. You know what I mean? Like, in some scenarios, what you're doing here is, like, fine and great, because, like, it's okay, like, if this Lina goes on you, and then you're like, fucking Centaur's here, and like, she dies. That's like, okay. But right, your team's not here. Your cores aren't here. So like, what you're doing is you're like poking, trying to like make them respond, but like actually not like committing to anything. Ideally, that's what you're doing. Because your team's not, just because your cores aren't there, you know?
So only do the poke-a-doke when everyone's around.
Yeah, well, and, you know, it's just like, how careful are you being?
Radiant's middle tower
Okay,
is
so
under
your team gets to kill bottom. This Pudge is like insisting on playing bottom. Okay, so you guys are playing aggressively in their triangle, which is like, okay. Usually you want to do it in their, like, just main jungle, but it's like, whatever. Sick ult. Very poggers. Getting our spells off. Very nice.
Yeah, we lose this game.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know, but still, that was like, good.
After this, I was like, okay, we won.
Right. Okay, so we went base because we don't have Tranks, and then we walk out on the map. Our team's throwing. Chill. Got a ward. Yeah, so like you're just like kind of playing into like the way your team's playing, which is really bad. And like what you should be doing here is just trying to get your team to play up here.
Okay.
Like, you know, don't like bitch at them. Be like, hey guys, can we play this area? Right? Come walk up here, shove this out, drop a ward somewhere. Be like, hey guys, come play on this ward here, and then we'll like take Roshan whenever. I don't know. Your guys' Rosh lineup is pretty terrible. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Pudge Axe takes it okay. I actually don't know how fast Pudge with Axe takes it.
We lose on a Roche play. He goes from 50-50 to us just losing in like 5 minutes.
But I just mean like you as a support, you can like help get your team to play up here, and that's what I would be doing 100%. Like this, you just first you need to know that this is bad. Like that's the first step, is knowing that your Pudge continually coming down here and like Tiny playing down here is like bad, right? That's step one. We know this is bad. I don't know if you knew that before, but now you know. So if you see this happening, you're like, well, this isn't good. How can we like fix this? You know you want to be playing up here, so we like come out here, push this out, drop a ward, circle it, you know, be like, come pressure up here, like farm their jungle, because conceptually, if you're farming these five camps here, you know, maybe they get this one, maybe you get this one, like depending on how far ahead you are, right? Because you've taken their mid tower, you have access to this whole area plus the tri camp, plus maybe somebody farms down here, I don't know, and they're farming like these two camps and like maybe these two camps because they don't even have this tower. So, like, you would just be... And you'd be farming 2 waves, and they'd only be farming, like, this one. Hypothetically. Like, that's the map distribution that you guys want, and that, like, that just, like, continually raises your net worth if you can keep that map distribution of, like, you're controlling these 2 lanes and all these camps, and they're, like, stuck in their triangle, basically. And then you can, like... From here, you just keep killing them. You just bounce back and forth between these 2 lanes and keep killing them. That's what you should want to happen.
All right, man. I appreciate all the time you took. I think I learned a lot.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the video description. You can join my Discord there, and there's all the information there on how to sign up.